I'm just checking the Art of Charms. If you guys can hear me over there in YouTube land and Periscope land, let me know you're alive. All right. And we're heading on to Instagram. Let me know you're alive, guys. All right. Let's see how this is going. There we go. Jaron Allen and Lisa. Right on. Tally, how you doing? Friday morning wisdom. Well, thank you very, very much. It's Friday morning wisdom with Tally. Well, Chantel, night for glitch. Right on. Guys, well, good morning to you too, Jaron. Nyborg 007. Free candy, I hope you're doing well. Texas is one of those beautiful states slowly opening up this week. If you guys can hear me on YouTube or Periscope, just shoot me a message. That lets me know that you guys are there as well. It is Friday. And guys, it is a good time to be alive. We're in history. And I'm excited. We're in a good place here. After 2 weeks of this, wise old man, Christina, hello, all the way from Venice. That is so rad. Hello, Nicole. Ian Patrick, hearing you loud and clear. Well, thank you, buddy. That allows me to know that you guys are rocking it over there in YouTube land. Bowser, right on. Alexander Harper, great. Everybody's here today. So, guys, I'm trying to do a new thing. I'm trying to see if I can see. There's the Periscope. That coming in live there. That lets me know we're good over there. All right. So, guys, let's just talk Bowser. How you doing down there in San Diego, my friend? Your favorite block? Wow, you guys keep piling in. This is great. All right. So, let's get to what's exciting, guys. So, this week we have 15 we got 15 states that are opening up. Now, I don't know all of them, but Paul Dominic, right on. Thank you, buddy. We have 15 states that are slowly opening up. And the thing about it, guys, is we're human beings. And the psychological experiment that was thrust upon all of us of sitting at home for 2 months practically was hard on all of us. But as human beings, we need to serve our fellow man. We need to be of service to our community. It's how we connect. It's a way that we express ourselves. Listen, I know that some people out there really hate their jobs. And I feel for you guys. I have worked jobs in my youth that I did not like. I had a job where from 9 in the morning to about 5 in the afternoon, I busted pallets all day with a ball peen hammer for a mean old man. And he wouldn't pay me hourly. He paid me for production. And I would go in. I was like 20 years old, 19 years old, and I would bust pallets all day. And he would yell at me. And then he would come out at the end of the day and start counting all the 2x4s and the frames. And then he'd always try to short me. And I had to be on it to catch him in order to get my full pay for the day. And sometimes I was so tired at the end of the day that I didn't want to count the pallets with him. And I just took the pay that he gave me. And that was a job in my youth that I didn't like. But when you're a young kid, that's what being young is all about. You do jobs that you hate. Now, so there's a lot of people out there who hate your jobs. And for you guys, I feel for you. I've been there. I've hated jobs as well. However, there is a lot of us out there who truly love our careers, who truly love our jobs. When I was a bartender, when I was working at the club, I loved everybody who came in to visit me. I loved all the bands that played. It was a community. Restaurants and bars, so the service industry, for some people, that's a place where you go eat. But for some people, that is their third place. That is their home away from home. It is a place of congregation where they socialize. It's the center of a lot of people's community. And when establishments are like that are taken from us, we feel lonely. We feel disconnected. Think about in a lot of different communities, that third place changes. For some communities, it's the barbershop. For some communities, it's the cafe. For some communities, it's the late night hangout. So, are you for or against freeing everyone? I don't know what that means, my friend, but I'm going to continue on and perhaps I'll answer that question. And so, it's nice to see that we're slowly moving in a direction that will give people their sense of purpose back and for them to be able to feel good in their daily lives. But for everyone else out there, for those of you who do live in a free state, I want you to be careful. I want you to follow the rules. I want you to respect social distancing and wear masks where they ask you to, so that we can do this safely. And for those fine people who want to get back to serving others, who want to get back to their careers, who want to get back to helping others connect and live a good life, then I salute you guys and want you guys to be safe. And let's also put it in perspective that you guys know how I feel about the media. And the media is no friend of mine. And the media has worked everybody up to such a degree that it's going to be difficult for a lot of people to continue to get back to their normal life. And it's going to take all of us a while. But I want everybody to be safe. And I want everyone to help each other. And together, we'll slowly test the waters and see how things are going to go. And I'm excited for those states who are going to give this a try, and I hope for the best. I want it to work out because here in California, it seems that our governor and mayor has put us on the slow track. So, and that's okay, because at least for myself, I am appreciative that I have the opportunity to be able to work from home. But I certainly have a lot of friends in the service industry who don't have that luxury. So those of you who are in those states, I know Free Candy, you're in Texas, and Blood on Silks. You are in Georgia. I believe Georgia opened up a little bit last week. Guys, be safe and respect everyone else's wishes in this. This is going to be a little touch and go as we get moving forward. All right. Now, how's everyone feeling out there? Is everyone alive? So the last few days, we've been talking about rapport tricks. And not only have we been talking about rapport tricks, some rapport building, we've also dabbled in sociopathy a bit, because I gave you guys a cautionary tale of how to, what to look for and how that rapport building tricks that I laid out, how they can be used against you. And so we'll get into that a little bit as well. Sylvie, good morning to you too. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. So let's go. I'll go ahead and start with this. And guys, for those of you, if you have questions, you have comments, feel free. You're always welcome to post them up. I'll try to get to those as we go through. If you want to give Animals some hearts, he's holding it down there today. All right. Pretty sure a lot of my friends are not running out anywhere, waiting to see what happens to what people that do. Well, yeah, absolutely, Free Candy. And certainly the media didn't allow anyone to feel good about anything, did they? So, see, those hearts are for you, buddy. Now, yeah, everyone's going to be very, very chill. And that's the other thing. Even in Sweden, where they didn't put such a lockdown on, from what the information that I have seen, everyone was so scared no one went out anywhere. So Christina's right with you, Free Candy. And so everyone's going to be chill, and we're going to be adults, and we're going to be safe because our communities mean more than us than getting a haircut. I'll tell you what, guys, I'd love a haircut too, like anybody else. I'm slowly morphing into John Bon Jovi 1986 over here. This is not going to be, after a few more weeks, we're going to have some serious issues, and I'm going to have to make the call with the home haircut. In fact, I'll probably get a cease and desist letter from John himself. All right. So, guys, we had been talking about rapport. What is this? Are you for or against quarantine orders? Like, I am for what my governor and mayor think is best for my city and state. I am not somebody who has the pulse of what is going on, and I don't have barely the information that those guys have, and I have to respect the people who have been elected to run my city and state. Rocking the shy. Well, thank you very much, Free Candy. All right. So the rapport tactics that we had laid out this week. Heavy Metal Podcast. Welcome. Dig it. 9-4-0-7. My wife gave me a loving ball spot. Yeah, we're all getting. I've already tried to cut some off the back. It's not going in. All right, guys, let's get into our topic today. So we laid out the rapport building, and I put together 3 levels of rapport that I wanted you guys to be aware of. That first level was light disclosure, lighthearted, amusing anecdotes about yourself and the world around you. Level 2, which is medium disclosure, which is beliefs, feelings, opinions, and ideas about yourself and the world around you. And high level, the third level of rapport, is your fears and insecurities about yourself and the world around you. Now, one of the things that I want you guys to realize with this is that first level, those are stories that involve low risk. So I gave you guys the analogy, I gave you guys the story of shaking my milk in 4th grade in the cafeteria. Only in that moment that I began to shake it that I realized that I had already opened it. Now, that is a silly story that I am telling you guys, and all of you have the ability to reciprocate the same sort of story. What are the emotional bids in that story? The emotional bids are embarrassment, shame, surprise. If you're an adult, you've experienced all those emotions. You're able to share that story, and each one of you who are listening right now can offer a story like that in return, and we can begin the dance of equally sharing. Now, the next level, medium rapport, is beliefs, feelings, opinions, and ideas about yourself and the world around you. Here's where it becomes a little bit difficult, because if I give you that vulnerability of who I am as a person, I am giving you something to hold on to. I am giving you something about me that requires some risk. How does it require some risk? What does the risk involve? The risk involved is me telling you how I feel about myself, about the world around me, and how I relate to it. That is different for every one of us. Every one of us has their own experience about the world and how they view it, how they put it together, and how it works for them. If my worldview is different from your worldview, we potentially have a clash. We potentially have an argument in front of us. However, if I accept your worldview and you accept my worldview, now we both have an equal amount of each other's vulnerability in each other's hands. That is why even the medium disclosure is something to be earned. People should earn that from you, and we should earn that from other people. And when you get those things, medium disclosure, then you should hold that as practically sacred. It is something that they felt worth sharing to you. You've earned that. On social media, just throw those things out there, and then we're so surprised when other people lash back that they don't agree or correspond with our point of view. Well, certainly, why would they? In social media, we're all connected, but yet we live in different worlds. I am friends with practically everybody on every continent except Antarctica, as far as I can tell. And even that is up for debate. But think about that. If I'm going to put out my worldview, think about how many different people that worldview is going to connect with, and they have the ability to agree or disagree. And not only agree or disagree, offer something back that is radically different. What we're all dealing with right now, each one of us have our feelings about different states opening up and how we feel about everyone's actions. But yet not everyone has grown up in the same place that we did. Not everyone is sharing the same experiences that we have. Not everyone has been through what we have to put the worldview together that has led us to the decision of how we feel about the moment that we are in. And so this is why the adults in the room, that is you guys and me and Animal, and AJ joined us too. Hello, AJ. That's why us, the adults in the room, have to be respectful of each other and have to find ways to communicate with each other outside of the normal social media garbage and what the media is showing us of just yelling and screaming and hollering off and fear mongering and hate. That doesn't allow anybody to feel good about who they are and their place in the world. And we have to also remember that we need to be responsible in leading so that young people can see how we relate to each other and be able to mimic those behaviors. If the only people they see is people yelling at each other, calling each other names, hating on each other, painting each other in horrible names because of how they feel and think about their place in the world, well, then they're only going to mimic those behaviors, and then we're really going to find our place ourselves in a difficult position to work ourselves out of it. We didn't get here by yelling at each other. We got here by debate. We got in this world and the civilization that we put up around ourselves by the best ideas winning and standing up for what we believe in. That's right, Jennifer. Right on. An Animal, Jennifer says hello. So, where was I at? Oh, yeah. So this medium disclosure is incredibly important, and we need to be able to respect that. And this is why the marketplace of ideas is such an important idea. This allows for all of us to enter into the discussion as long as we're willing to obey the rules. And this is why debating is such an interesting topic. I certainly have spent a lot of times honing my own abilities for myself to be able to put my ideas out there. And this is why AJ and I have put together the Art of Charm. Why? Because we have a duty and we have a mission in which we want to make the world a better place from our little part of the internet outwards. We understand the ripple effect, and you guys are all a part of this. And and this is something I said on last Friday about being able to forge a new world for ourselves as we move through this from a place of being adults. All right. It is hot under the circle light today, guys. Okay. All right. Now, next part that I wanted to go through. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Jennifer. So, as we have that set up and we understand the difference between the three levels and how they should be looked at and how you should view them upon interacting with other people. Now it comes to a place where you guys have asked me to elaborate more about, which was protecting yourself from people who would manipulate or use that information against you. So there's a few things that you want to watch out for. But one of the things that is going to be important is for you to understand the three levels of rapport, learn how to use them effectively, and so that your own alarms will be tipped off when those rules are somebody else uses rapport outside the rules that you understand. And in that manner, your internal alarms can go off, and then you can evaluate that situation separately and logically to make sure it is making sense. You're going to be tipped off, first of all, emotionally. Because why? We're emotional creatures. Our emotional response system is way faster than our logical response system. So when you get that feeling, you need to step back and logically look at, why do I have this feeling? What is not computing? What pieces to this are not adding up and allowing me to feel this way where something feels different? So, you guys want to go through those pieces? Do you want to learn how we put that together? One of my favorite books is Daring Greatly. Brene Brown is a vulnerability researcher. In her work, she has put together many wonderful ways for, as human beings, for us to express ourselves, for us to be able to connect. And she talks about how vulnerability is the integral part to this and all the different ways that we have learned to be vulnerable in order to allow that to happen. And self-expression is one of those ways. Creating is one of those ways. I believe it was yesterday I was talking about your presentation, how we dress. That gives speaks much louder than our words could ever speak. One of her ideas, and she talks about when we're in that first realm of rapport, that first level, lighthearted self-disclosure. We can think of it of putting a jelly bean jar between myself and you guys. All right. And for every level 1 rapport story that I throw in as a jelly bean into that jar, you're going to feel compelled to want to match me. As a human being who wants to connect, you'll have an emotional response to want to match that. Now, that is how normal people are going to handle this. As I mentioned yesterday, the tendency for folks on the narcissism scale who might want to use this relationship to suit their needs, they tend to test the waters to see who is most receptive to their tricks. So this is why when we see ourselves as, why I'm so nice, how did I get roped into this? Did I fall for this? You didn't fall for anything. What happened was your tendencies as a caring, smart human being allowed yourself to fall into this trap. Emotionally, it's set up quite well. Where there is an emotional exchange, we're throwing jelly beans into that jar, but then it becomes to a point where this other person is throwing in the medium disclosure. Sorry about that, guys. So they begin throwing in medium disclosure size jelly beans into the jar, then going into heavy emotional disclosure, which is fears and insecurities, the sympathy cards, their troubles of woe, of things that have happened to them. And if you match those, they now have information that they can use to manipulate you. If this person is high on the sociopathy scale, then they're usually pathological liars. Everything that they had been built up in order to suck you into this trap was a lie. It was a lie all along. And the terrible thing that happens for most people is once they find out that they are in a relationship with somebody who's high on the narcissism spectrum that leads into sociopathy, is that they realize the whole relationship from beginning to end was a sham because it was set up in that manner. Yes, Tully, they're emotional vampires. So how do you keep yourself from falling in? Well, you have the jelly bean jar and between you and this person. If they're throwing in large jelly beans or trying to speed up the process or putting in heavy bombs from out of nowhere, this is signs that they're not playing along. I'm not saying that they suffer from sociopathy. What I'm saying is these are signs that you need to then logically look at and ask yourself, why are they telling you this? What is the message that they're looking to get from you? Are you receiving the message that you are getting from them? You could be a good relation therapist. Oh, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. And how do you get out? Okay, well, we'll get into that. So these are the early warning signs of how you should be looking at this. This is how they test the waters. Because the minute you're on the hook becomes the next chapter in their book, which is love bombing, which it is an emotional response to get you drunk on feel good emotions. They pump you full of that. And this is once the doors of communication are open and your doors of empathy are wide open because you care so much about this person and everything that they have gone through. And now it's an ego inflating. And it's not to say that you're an egotistical person. It is the trick that they use of exploiting your good human nature and putting you in a position to be that connected to them. And this is how you realize this and you can stop it. That is right, Tully. The best way is no contact. However, you're going to first have to know that you're dealing with one in order to shut them off. Guys, this has been great. This is Friday, so I'm sad I'm not going to see you guys till Monday. But if you want to learn more about all this stuff, check out the Art of Charm Communication Accelerator. It is in the link tree on Twitter. It is in the bio on YouTube. It's always in the description. It has everything from our online classes to our live in-person training programs and the best bits from all the experts that we have interviewed over the last 15 years to make all of your connection and communication the best that it can be. So pick that up and let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of the ideas in it. Let's have some fun on these. Guys, we are on a mission and you guys are with us and we are going to turn the internet into a better place. We're going to turn the world into a better place from our little corner. And thank you guys. And for all of you in free states who are going to be opening up, I want you all to stay safe. I want you to respect everyone's wishes of social distancing because we're looking to you guys to see how the rest of us can move this forward. Thank you guys and see you guys next week.